President Obama will join 3,000 mourners today at Fort Hood, Texas, to pay tribute to the 13 men and women who died in a gunman's rampage last week. Army psychiatrist Nidal Malik Hassan was shot and wounded after firing more than 100 shots. He's awake now and will face a military trial.
How many bands of marauding Catholics do we have going around killing people in the name of the Pope? How many bands of marauding Mormons do we have going around killing in the name of Joseph Smith? We don't. Almost every single terror-style attack in the United States since 9/11 has had a Muslim connection in it one way or another.
We played you this interview yesterday from a freelance writer who wants to ban all Muslims from the United States military. It's exactly the kind of sweeping condemnation that worries mainstream Muslims, and it makes them fear acts of retribution.
The director of the Council on American Islamic Relations Chicago chapter, Ahmed Rehab, joins us now to talk about this. First off, your reaction. You heard that, writer?
Well, our reaction is one of shock and dismay, first of all, in the act itself. Muslim American organizations were very quick to condemn this heinous act and to offer our condolences to all of the families of the victims and to pray for the dead and the wounded. For someone like that to come and sort of fish in murky waters and try to take advantage of the situation to disenfranchise the American Muslim community and cast aspersions on the very patriotic and well-serving men and women of the U.S. Army, Muslims, I think is very sad and very unfortunate.
On a more serious note, to that guy's point, 4 Republicans in Congress are saying that your organization is planting spies on Capitol Hill. Where do they get that?
Well, of course, these spies are interns who are serving coffee and faxing papers for their bosses. Obviously, it's ridiculous. 87 members of the U.S. Congress of the minority caucuses came out and condemned these 4 individuals and their really unfortunate, attitude towards American Muslims trying to be part of the democratic process, which is a right for all of us as Americans.
Is it frustrating for you as a Muslim that this is a religion of peace and then there's people using this religion? I mean, we don't know if that is necessarily the case in this Fort Hood shootings, but some people say they're using the name of this religion, which is about peace and love, and they're radicalizing it. Does it infuriate you as a Muslim?
It saddens me, but that's part of what we have to deal with on a daily basis. Fact of the matter is there are about 7 million American Muslims who live their lives just like any other American, trying to put food on the table, trying to work for their families, make this country a better place, make their community a better place. You have individuals who commit acts of, criminal acts just like in any other community, and then you have others who kind of observe that and sort of extrapolate that to the entire community and paint the entire community with a broad brush, which I think is very, very wrong to do.
What is the Muslim community doing to look inward to solve that problem?
What we do on a daily basis is reach out within our own community and outside of our own community to build bridges of peace, love, and understanding to try to live up to our potential as American citizens, being part of the democratic process, weeding out any extremist voices, making sure we're part of the mainstream dialogue on democracy and civic engagement. So that's something we do on a daily basis.
A radical imam in Yemen just came out praising the shooter in Fort Hood as a hero. When you hear things like that, does your organization say, oh,
Yeah.
I mean, what is the reaction?
We were outraged by that. It's extremely inaccurate, and it does not represent the Islamic interpretation of the act, which is a criminal act. To kill an individual is like to kill the entire world in our Islamic faith. So CAIR came out with a press release condemning this guy's remarks. We don't believe in what he says at all.
Ahmed Rehab, who's the director of the Council on American Islamic Relations Chicago chapter. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you very much for having me.